Oh, there it is. Recording episode 60. Well, that's a useless. That's kind of. Yeah, that's what we look like when we go live. Random talk about music.
La 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 la.
Okay.
Welcome to Irritable Dad Syndrome, Santa Claus's favorite podcast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Darin.
Hey, what happened?
Hey!
Right out of the gate.
Right out of the gate.
Episode 68. Yes.
Yes. Hi, I'm Darin.
I'm Mike.
And this is Irritable Dad Syndrome. And hey, what happened?
Hey, what happened?
We were told that we do that too much.
Yeah.
Somebody says, hey, you know what? I'm getting really tired of the, hey, what happened?
Hey, what happened?
So just keep doing it.
We're not going to stop.
You're welcome. I know.
I have a long history of being unable.
Stay with us, please, because we've got a lot of really good stuff in this episode.
Yeah. And I have a long history of ignoring people when they tell me I should do something else.
Right.
So this is a good show. If you're a new listener, God bless you.
Yeah, thank you, and welcome to the show.
Yeah, it's not all like this.
No, it's not.
But it's not all unlike this. Buckle up.
I did want to say, we're recording 3 episodes because we're coming into December and the holidays. Yeah. And Mike, I know you have vacation coming up and I have vacation coming up. So we're going to record 3 episodes tonight.
Yeah.
So enjoy this one because the next 2 are going to be absolute garbage.
I agreed to 2 episodes. But that's besides the point.
Right.
Yeah. Because when you said that we're going to record 3 episodes, inside I went, hey, what happened? Welcome back.
Yeah. Over the past couple of weeks, I've introduced almost every single episode with an apology or a correction. And I want to apologize this week because there has been a major oversight to one of our patrons. Okay. Remember a couple of months ago when I said, hey, whenever we get a patron, we're going to start doing this new feature and we're going to have Dave Lay record a voicemail message for you.
And I left that to you to manage.
Exactly.
So what you're saying is you failed.
Well, I blame this on Karen in accounting because we did a voicemail message for Jason Durbin. Okay. We did a voicemail message for Chris Michael, for Chris Hughes, for Lisa Coleman Ferguson.
Yeah.
We have totally forgot to do a voicemail message for Greg Bodis.
What the hell?
Greg Bodis is the very first person who ever said, you know what, I like this show so much, I'm going to financially contribute and help them succeed and move forward with it.
I think he's our backup host.
Well, that's
one of us gets a little bitchy.
That's what he thinks. Anyway, I reached out to Dave Lay, and he was very busy, but I said, if you got it in you, can you record a voicemail message for Greg Bodis, our very first patron? He was nice enough to do it. So go ahead, get on the telephone line, and let's give him a call. We'll listen to his voicemail message.
Hi, you've reached the voicemail of Greg Bodis. He can't come to the phone right now. He's either playing drums, teaching drums, or buying new drums. Leave a message, and if it involves drums, he'll probably call you back.
Welcome back. So, and Greg Bodis, thank you again for being our first patron. Thank you for financially contributing to the success of this show. And I wanted to say, if you would like to become a patron, you can go to irritabledadsyndrome.com, go to Patreon. Okay, there's 4 different plans. They're fantastic. And let's say, you know what? Last week we had someone in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Who downloaded our show. We had someone in Gloucester, Massachusetts. I can't pronounce it. Des Plaines, Illinois. Des Plaines. Glenwood Springs, Colorado. If you're in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Spring Arbor, Michigan. If you're one of these people, become a patron of our show. And we will have Dave Lay record a voicemail message for you.
It'll be fun.
And you will be popular amongst your friends. They won't think you're a loser anymore.
So we've been given a lot of different types of advice for this show. So one of the pieces of advice we've been given is to be funny in the first 2 minutes. Check. We said what happened right off the bat.
Right out the bat,
the other one is that we should tell people what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
And what we're going to talk about in this episode is whatever comes to mind at that moment.
Is this one of those weeks where you didn't plan?
So here's a fun thing for you at home. Now, I know a lot of you are listening in your car or when you're supposed to be watching your kid or on the toilet or something, walking around in the gym, whatever the hell you weirdos, however you listen to the show.
Right.
But the true fans
Yeah.
watch this on Twitch as we're recording it live, and they will see that Mike is currently double fisting a Monster Energy drink and a Cabaret Cab Sauvignon.
Flumon. No, you got to sniff it.
Yeah,
you got to swish it around.
Yeah, I'm not that
smell the
fancy.
cork.
I'm just north of Bush beer in terms of being a concierge. What happened?
Do you remember in the Muppet movie when Steve Martin is the waiter and he comes out, Kermit the Frog, looking for Kermit the Frog. Yeah. Are you Kermit the Frog? He's the only frog there. Yeah. He says yes. And so anyway, he goes over and asks him if he wants to smell the cork. That smells very good. Thank you. Yeah. So I saw that as a kid, and I know it's funny, but that stuck with me. And whenever I don't drink wine, I can't stand wine.
Okay.
Wine gives me horrible heartburn.
Yeah.
I cannot drink wine. But anyway, whenever I see people drinking wine, I think...
You think of Kermit the Frog.
You want to smell the cork? Yeah. So, there you go. Last week, I mentioned that my wife was having shoulder surgery. The surgery went well. Thank you so much for all your calls and emails and texts and your well wishes. She's doing great. She's in pain, which is expected after recovering from surgery. She had a bone spur on her rotator cuff, and it was tearing the tendon in there. So, ow, of course it's going to hurt.
That sucks.
Yeah. So we got that all taken care of. And I'm in the waiting room while she's having her surgery. Now, usually when
you weren't in there helping out?
No, they did not want me in there.
Okay.
You want to, hey, can I take a look at that?
Yeah.
So I'm in the waiting room, and they have a TV, and usually it's on, I don't know, one of the news channels or the home shopping, or this particular place has Netflix.
Oh.
And I was like, really? You have Netflix? And they're like, yeah, we have Netflix here.
So you could put Tiger King on for everyone in the room.
Yeah, or Squid Game, something, you know? And
Breaking Bad.
Yeah, the lady asked, she says, would you like to watch something on Netflix? And then I was just totally, with the 8,000 things they have on Netflix, I was like, what do I watch in a room with other people, with like people who were like really, really old, and there was like someone who looked like he was near death. But, and I'm just can't.
Anchorman.
I can't. So I'm like scrolling through, or they're scrolling through for me. I wasn't allowed to touch the remote. And the original Jumanji comes on. I'm like, I'd like to watch Jumanji, please. Like, okay. So they played Jumanji, and I'm watching about the first 10 minutes of it when they come in. Darin, do you want to come in? I'm like, oh, okay. So I went in and I'm talking to Libby as they're going through, getting ready to put her into surgery and everything like that. And then they wheel her back.
Yeah.
And I go back out, and they didn't pause the movie for me. But I'm watching the rest of it.
Okay.
Whatever. It's Jumanji, right?
Yeah.
Well, after Libby had finished her surgery, the surgery was quick, like half hour, 40 minutes. So after they're done, the doctor comes in to talk to me and tells me everything went well, and this is what they did, and this is what they found. And so I'm back. Jumanji's ended.
Okay.
Someone else has put on, what's the name of the show?
Squid Game?
No. Someone else has put on a show called Rust Valley Restorers.
Oh.
Okay. It's a reality show. Okay. It's about these two guys, and what they do is they find really, really, really old cars.
Okay.
And they restore them. Okay. One guy is this old dude, and he's got dreadlocks, white dreadlocks. He looks kind of like one of those guys in the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay.
The other guy looks like Danny DeVito and Ron Jeremy were morphed into one person.
Okay.
And we're watching Rust Valley Restorers, and this
so
one
look
guy,
like Mario from Super Mario Brothers.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
All right.
This guy's trying to teach his. There's a young lady in there. I don't know if it was his daughter or if it was his niece. I don't know. The volume was kind of down. He's teaching her to drive this truck, and he keeps saying, "Let out the clutch! Let out the clutch!" Okay. And I hate reality television, but the more I'm watching this, the more fascinated I am.
That's how they get you.
I know. The worse the show is, the more you enjoy watching it. So I'm watching this, and another guy comes in, and he's waiting on his, I don't know, his wife or somebody to have a procedure done there.
Okay.
He won't sit down. Okay, he's just walking around the room.
Oh, he's one of those.
He's
walker.
just standing there, walking, hands in his pockets, watching, looking at the TV. And
she's probably in there having her leg removed or something. It's going to take forever.
She was having something done to her wrist.
Okay.
I overheard that. I wasn't eavesdropping, but I was sitting right there, and I heard what was going on. So he kind of starts a conversation with me, and he said, something about the Charger that they have there. You ever see a car like that? No, I haven't. Yeah, I don't know anything about cars. I'm not Dave Lay.
Okay.
Dave Lay can tell you everything about that car, the block that it's on, and how much the horsepower and all that crap. So we're sitting there talking, and I say, that one guy there looks kind of like Ron Jeremy and Danny DeVito morphed together. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm like, okay.
So now you're sitting there wondering which one he doesn't know.
Does he not know Danny DeVito? Does he not know Ron Jeremy?
Or does he know them and he's wondering why I'm talking about Ron Jeremy to a stranger?
Exactly.
Okay.
And then there's one other guy in the lobby, and he's just waiting. And I know he's really annoyed with us because we start talking to each other. And we're watching the show, and like 10 minutes later, the guy who's standing up, walking around, looks at me and goes, he does look like Ron Jeremy and Danny DeVito morphed together. 10 minutes. 10 minutes it takes him to realize that was funny, that he thought it was funny. Anyway, this guy got, I think I'm going to try doing a quote of the week for this podcast. He had the quote of the week.
All right.
He's looking at an old car on this thing, on this show, and it's a Roadrunner. He used to have an old Roadrunner car. I don't know anything about the car, but he says that car was fast. That car was faster than a scalded dog.
Yeah, faster than a scalded dog.
And I've never heard faster than a scalded dog. Anyway, I'm talking to the dude about the scalded dog and the cars and Ron Jeremy and everything else. They come out and say, Darin, Libby's out. You can come see her now. So I go and see her. And Libby she got really bad chills and shakes after coming off of the anesthesia. And she had a sheet over her head. So she remember when Princess Leia was standing there with R2-D2 and help me, I'll be on your hope? Yeah. She looked like a combination between Princess Leia and the Virgin Mary. And Libby gets really goofy when she's on anesthesia.
Okay.
And so I look at her, I'm like, hey, honey, how are you? She says, I'm wearing a hood. I said, I know. And then she goes, hi. I said, okay, here we go. Anyway, she's all good. Her arm hurts. She can't hardly move it. It's in a sling, but she's taking her medicine and she's getting around and she's feeling better, a little bit better every day. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
This portion of Irritable Dad Syndrome is brought to you by Whompers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dogs. Hey there, it's Dave, and it's never too early to get started on your holiday shopping. And there's no better gift than Whompers All-Beef Hot Dogs. That's right. Give that special someone in your life the gift of all-beef footlong hot dogs. So what are you waiting for? Pre-order a package or two wherever quality meat products are sold. What? Your local grocery doesn't sell Whompers? No problem. Whompers delivers. Just go online and place your order today. Merry Christmas from all of us at Irritable Dad Syndrome and the fine folks at Whompers All-Beef Footlong Hot Dogs.
So what I wanted to talk about was you mentioned the TiVo. So the last time I went to the dentist.
TiVo.
Or oh my God. You mentioned the Netflix. Yeah. You mentioned the Netflix. So the last time I went to the dentist, they said, you want to listen to any music? And I'm like, okay.
Put on some Pussifer.
Okay. I was like, yeah, sure. And they're like, what kind of music do you like? My answer to that is typically anything but country.
Right. I want a highway to hell.
So anybody that I don't know at all, I just say anything. It doesn't matter to me. When really it kind of they put on like Kenny G came through the thing. Now I'm about to have pain inflicted upon my teeth.
Right. You don't need pain inflicted in your ears.
So I kind of wish I could go back to that moment. If I'd known that it was possible, and I'm about to have drills and hardcore stuff going on my teeth, I would have asked for Gojira, Slayer, anything along those lines.
You got any Pantera?
Any Pantera up in there? Any Cowboys from Hell? I'd really dig
This
that.
Love by Pantera.
Yeah. Can you start with the Ramones when you're on the top teeth?
Right.
And when you go to the bottom teeth, I'd like some Rob Zombie. When you get back to the molars, let's throw in some Tool. And when you get up to the incisors, let's get some 9 Inch Nails, because that's how I feel in there. When you're done, let's put on some U2 or Paul Simon or REM.
Wait.
You choose.
You're going to start with Pantera, and then you're going
to at the end when we're calm,
gradual to Paul Simon.
Now, if you find
Paul Simon or Simon and Garfunkel.
Paul Simon, Garfunkel.
What the hell did you just say?
You know what?
Garfunkel.
One more time, I'm going to walk out of here.
I'm not a fan of Garfunkel. Not a fan of Garfunkel. Not a fan. And no, neither are you. How many Simon and Garfunkel albums do you own?
All of them.
How many Paul Simon albums do you own?
None of them.
Okay.
I have
this is where the line in the sand gets drawn. This is it. This is the thing. This is the thing.
Nobody says Garfunkel to me.
You don't like Garfunkel.
I do.
You don't like him.
I do.
Which one is Garfunkel? The tall one or the short one?
Don't know.
Tall one with the curly hair.
No,
I know. I don't know if you know.
He's the one who can sing.
Just a minute, partner. You can't talk to me like that. Them's fighting words.
I take that back. Paul Simon is a very good vocalist. Yes. Now listen, Paul Simon is a ridiculously talented musician and songwriter and vocalist, and he's funny too. Okay, here's Art Garfunkel. The only thing Art Garfunkel has going for him is he's got a hell of a voice. The only voice better than him was Roy Orbison.
Okay, now chill out.
Don't you tell me what to do.
Chill out.
You started this. Garfunkel has an amazing voice. Okay. He couldn't write a song to save his life.
Okay.
Paul Simon carried Simon and Garfunkel. Okay.
Art Garfunkel, to me, is
and
the type
Art Garfunkel
of guy
can make a great 3-shot.
Art Garfunkel is the type of guy
3-pointer
that sits and eats a cereal in the morning and laughs himself silly at Family Circus comics and Garfield.
What's wrong with the Family Circus?
Paul Simon was either an insurance salesman or an accountant or something, and Art Garfunkel was the only guy in the office that would talk to him, and he just said, "Hey, would you like to maybe sing together?" Because Art was the only one that had a microphone. He's the only one that could afford one.
Right, already had
and
a mic.
They started recording together, and then once they got some money, Paul Simon said, "Okay, you know what? I don't have to tour with Big Bird or whatever the hell your deal." I don't need you anymore.
You think Paul Simon called Garfunkel Big Bird?
I'm not done. I'm done with you. I'm going to fly to Africa and get a whole new band.
The Rhythm of the Saints.
Yep. No.
That was the album.
No.
Graceland.
Graceland. And then I'm going to dump them and fly to South America and get the Rhythm of the Saints group.
Yeah.
And I'm going to do my own thing.
Yeah.
And I'm going to sing. And every once in a while, I'm going to sing Bridge Over Troubled Waters. And all the old fogies and farts are going to raise their lighters up and wish for Art Garfunkel, who is in his living room, sitting at a little fold-out card table, eating a cereal, laughing at Garfield comics. That's what he's doing right now. Is he dead?
No.
Okay.
Art Garfunkel is counting his money is what he's doing.
Well, yes. He is. But
here's some facts about Art Garfunkel.
You don't know. Don't come at me with Art Garfunkel facts. You don't have any Art Garfunkel facts.
Dated Penny Marshall.
First of
Laverne of Laverne and Shirley.
I don't trust anybody that doesn't use their full name when their name is Arthur. It's Arthur. Arthur Garfunkel.
You don't use your full name.
Yeah, but
you don't even go by your first
Arthur.
name.
It's not okay.
You don't even go by.
I don't.
How come you don't go by
trust
Michael?
People who go by Art. I don't. Well, name another Art.
Art Linkletter. Art Godfrey.
See, I always get him mixed up with who's the guy that
Art
did
Carney.
Who's that? I don't even know. I know kind of.
Okay, you asked me to name people named Art, and you don't know anybody else named Art.
Do him again. Art Garfunkel, Art Carney,
Linkletter.
Art Linkletter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Arthur Dudley Moore? Hello.
Yeah, that wasn't. It was a character.
Yeah. So is Art Garfunkel. What happened? See,
Perhaps someone should come and wash your for you.
Can I tell you something? Can I tell you the reason why What Happened has taken hold on this show?
Because it's fantastic.
Because we end up going down dead ends where nobody knows what the hell happened.
Right.
And you have to say it. You have to go. Before that, it was a Dave Lay commercial, but he's getting tired of making commercials to bail us out of our own stupid selves.
Every time I apologize for sending him audio, he loves it. He says he absolutely loves it. But no, in all seriousness, I have every Simon and Garfunkel
Do you really?
album. I do.
I'm being serious. Do you honestly prefer Art Garfunkel to Paul Simon? It's like I understand doing this for comedy or whatever.
Hold on. I prefer Simon and Garfunkel music.
Okay.
Than to the Paul Simon's.
So Graceland. It's because Graceland to me is almost a perfect album.
Graceland was an amazing album.
So
I'm not gonna poo-poo on Graceland, but Graceland wasn't better than Bridge Over Troubled Water. Bridge Over Troubled Water is one of the top 5 greatest songs ever written or recorded.
Name another Art and Garfunkel or another Simon and Garfunkel. Is it Simon and Garfunkel?
The Boxer.
Okay.
Okay.
And Julio down by the schoolyard that was Paul Simon.
Yeah.
Okay. I just don't believe it. I don't believe you. I think that if we sat down and we listened to all of Paul Simon's stuff and all of Simon and Garfunkel stuff, you'd be like, wow, I had no idea.
I'm not saying I don't like Paul Simon music. Okay. I'm saying I prefer
it. Okay, so if I went into the jungle and I found somebody that had never seen civilization or anything like that, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. Has no idea about anything.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
You asked me to name.
You have to look it up.
Because I have brain freeze, okay? Because I have a horrible memory.
My point is, if you take somebody out of the jungle that's never seen anything, any pop culture, anything like that, and you give them a corn chip, you're going to blow their mind. And they're going to think it's the greatest snack food ever known to man. And they've never had a Dorito. And they've never had a Ruffles chip.
Okay.
They've never had.
You're comparing Simon and Garfunkel to snack chips.
I'm comparing.
What the actual hell are you talking about?
I'm comparing Garfunkel to a corn chip. Paul Simon is a Dorito.
Okay. Listen. Paul Simon wrote and recorded many, many great songs as a solo artist.
Yes.
But before he did that, he wrote The Sound of Silence, an amazing song.
Okay.
The Boxer, one of my favorites. Mrs. Robinson, the theme song from The Graduate.
Yeah.
Okay. Bridge Over Troubled Water.
Okay.
America. Oh my God. If you've never heard the song America, then there's something seriously wrong with you. Okay. I Am a Rock. April Comes She Will. Feeling Groovy.
Okay.
A Hazy Shade of Winter. Cecilia. Yeah. So
I'm pretty sure that Paul Simon wrote all those and Art Garfunkel was there because he owned the microphone.
I know. Okay. No, I'm saying Paul Simon wrote. I've told you. Okay. Paul Simon carried the band. Okay. Because he wrote all the songs.
Okay. All right.
But I prefer Simon and Garfunkel music to Paul Simon, even though Kodachrome is a great song.
Oh.
Me and Julio Down by the Schoolyard is a kick-ass song.
Yeah.
Okay. Neither of those songs are better than Bridge Over Troubled Water. Okay. Bridge Over Troubled Water is one of the top 5 greatest songs ever written, recorded.
Okay. All right.
And Paul Simon can't sing it as good as Art Garfunkel. He can't. He can't hit the high notes. Boy, we went off on a tangent there.
Well, you offended me.
You can edit all that stuff out.
Hi, I'm Dave Lay, and now it's time for Dave's Comedy Corner. So what's the deal with cotton candy? You know, I only eat cotton candy if it's made from 100% cotton. So don't give me any of that poly cotton blend crap. This has been Dave's Comedy Corner.
Waka, waka, waka.
So, how's Dakota?
So I sent you an update. So for the people listening, like we say that, but all this for the people listening. Otherwise, we're just two guys quacking in a basement.
Exactly.
When we record this show, we have a rundown. We have an idea list in Google Documents that we both edit.
Through the week, things happen. Oh, I want to talk about this on Tuesday. Yeah. You throw it in the folder.
You can access it from your phone, which is great because I'll be out and something will happen and I'll just type it in the thing that's there. And one of the things I typed in was that Dakota ate the baby Jesus. Which At the time I wrote that, I thought that was exactly what had happened. What I found out was she did not, in fact, eat the baby Jesus.
Okay.
She did eat his house.
Okay.
She ate the top of the manger of our nativity scene.
Oh, my goodness.
And I told Bess, and it's not like I'm telling Bess and she's learning this because I'm telling her. She knew that anything on the floor, this animal's going to eat. If you look around you right now, there's stuff on the floor. We don't let Dakota down here.
Right.
Because everyone in this family knows.
You don't eat the guitar.
Everyone in this family knows that if Dakota's nose even touches that guitar, she's gone.
Yeah.
If she touches anything in the bookshelves,
yep.
Anything over here.
Yeah. Oh, I could just see
she gets within 2 feet of the Xbox or the PlayStation. Oh, my Lord.
Oh, my God. If she
I don't
put
want
an
my
album
kids,
in her mouth.
I don't want my kids to have to see what I would do to that dog.
What would you do if she put one of your Pearl Jam albums in her mouth?
That uncomfortable pause in the podcast is me contemplating that and considering going up and smacking her just for imagining her doing that.
Well, I was excited that you said that because it reminded me of a great story of our old dog Conrad, a stupid beagle. Okay. And Conrad, up until the couple of days before we had to sadly put him down, Conrad would get in the trash. He would steal food from the kids, and he would get into things. Okay. Still,
did you put him down because he got into things?
No, he had a lot of problems, and for health reasons, we had to put him down. Sadly. Anyway, my mother-in-law, God love her, she came to visit us one time. Okay. And she had taken her bag and put it up in her room where she was sleeping. Well, she had something in there. Can't say without laughing. My mother-in-law didn't like wearing her false teeth.
Okay.
She had her false teeth in her bag. We're downstairs in the living room talking, and Conrad comes down, and he's got...
Tell me the dog grinned and had your mother-in-law's teeth.
I knew you were going to go there. But I'm looking, and it's one of those, oh. And I'm like, Libby? And then Libby's like, oh. And we had to get my mother-in-law's teeth out of Conrad's mouth. Yeah.
I think that's a fun story.
That's a hilarious
fun one.
story.
That's a fun one.
You'd think she would have hated the dog, but she didn't. She had a big laugh about it. She hated wearing her teeth, so it's not like she's like, well, I don't like wearing the teeth anyway. And she always called the dog Conway for some reason. We kept correcting her, but it was Conway. But speaking of Jesus,
okay,
when Jacob, my oldest son, when he was little,
okay,
he was hell on wheels, man. We earned our money with that kid. And Libby worked during the day, and I worked nights, and so we were essentially single parents. Okay. And so Jacob is little; he's like 2 and some change or whatever. And it's around this time of year, and Libby took Jacob to like a nativity scene, to an outdoor thing. She thought, oh, me and Jacob will go and we'll have some fun. And Jacob and I will go and we'll have some fun. I want to be grammatically correct here. Okay. Anyway, he was acting up, and he wouldn't stand still. He would run away from her, and she would get him, and he would run away. And he ran into the tomb of Jesus.
Oh, my God.
Libby called me up, and she's crying, and she's like, I'm trying to have a good time with Jacob, and he won't stop running away, and I had to spank him in the tomb of Jesus. I'm at work laughing my ass off. She's like, it's not funny. I'm like, actually, honey, it is funny. You realize you had to spank him in the tomb of Jesus. There's a comedian, George Miller. He passed away a long time ago. Okay. And he used to be on Letterman all the time. And one of my favorite jokes about George Miller, George had a girlfriend, and I guess they lived together, and they got into a huge fight. And George had went over and done some things he shouldn't have done in her apartment. Oh. Okay. He I don't know. Okay. Did some things he wasn't supposed to do. Okay. So the police come. Oh. And they visited
He really
George.
did some things he shouldn't have done. Okay.
And they said, one of the things that your girlfriend is really upset about is you wrote some obscenities on a picture she had of Jesus Christ. And George said, Jesus? I thought that was Dan Fogelberg. At my first TV station, we used to have Reverend Willard Wilcox. And he would come in a couple times a month, and he would record 2-hour-long church sermons that we ran on Sunday.
Okay.
And we'd set up the camera on a still shot, and he would stand there and preach for 55 minutes, and then you would go and you would wrap him down, and he would end it, and it was great. Every time he would come in, if I had a good joke, a good God joke, I would tell him. He would come and it's like, hey, you want to hear a good God joke? And he's like, okay. So the one that he thought was his favorite one that I told was the guy, some guy named Keith or Mark.
Okay.
Mark was a really good guy. Mark lived a very pure life. He was kind to people. He donated to charity. He worked hard, and he took care of his parents, and he took real good care of his kids. Whatever.
Yep.
Every night before he went to bed, he thanked God. He says, "God, thank you for all my many blessings. Please, if you could, I would love to win the lottery."
Okay.
And the next night he would go to bed and he would thank God for his prayers. Please let me win the lottery. The next night, the next night, the next night. He did this for like 20 years.
Okay.
Finally, God comes down to earth.
Okay.
And he says, Mark, listen, you're a great guy. I appreciate all the things that you do for your family. I appreciate all the things that you do for your coworkers and your friends. About this lottery thing, I need you to meet me halfway here and buy a ticket. Waka, waka, waka. Reverend Wilcox loved that joke. And that's our Jesus hunk.
This week's podcast is proudly brought to you by Diff Liquid Concentrated Wallpaper Stripper, Trim Fingernail Clippers, and International Delight Almond Joy Flavored Coffee Creamer. Get out your credit card and help these fine companies give Christmas bonuses to their employees. Now back to you, Buck and Dusty.
We moved Bess's mom here.
Right.
Not here where we currently are, but in our vicinity. She's 10 minutes away.
Okay.
In what would have been referred to in the 80s and before as a nursing home.
As a nursing home.
Is now considered an assisted living facility. And I've learned that the difference between an assisted living facility and a nursing home is that an assisted living facility has things in it to make you forget that you're in a nursing home. Okay. A nursing home
is... You're not wrong.
A nursing home is a straight up, you're in a hospital bed in a room.
Yes.
With people coming in every once in a while to
check your
give
pulse,
you pills.
Put a mirror under your nose.
Take your feces away. And whatever. Assisted living is kind of halfway between where we are now and
Mark,
that.
Would you like some pudding?
Yeah. So, and it's a really nice place.
It
is
you
nice.
saw it.
You helped move in.
I helped you move in.
Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome. That's what friends do.
So it has a movie theater.
It does.
It has a hair salon. By the way, in the movie theater are all these pictures from old movies, and they're in black and white.
Right.
And I was looking at it, I was like, oh, that's cute. They have Clint Eastwood and John Wayne and Star Wars. Wait. Hold on. Is that George Clooney? Wait, hold on. These are not old people.
These are not old.
So I started to feel old.
Right.
It is a nice movie theater.
Yeah.
It's
because I was asking them if they if they only show old movies, and she said they can show any movie they want, really.
Which, wait till I get there.
Yeah.
And so we take her on a...
Hey, can you load up Cannonball Run, too?
So we go to visit Bess's mom, and we're like, let's wheel you around this thing and show you what is here. Okay? And we started wheeling her around, and we found that there's like a little library there.
Yeah.
But there's multiple areas where there's bookshelves with all kinds of books.
Yeah.
And I started looking at them, like, what kind of books can I expect to see surrounding me when I'm in my golden years? Okay. Prominently displayed.
Golden years.
Prominently displayed.
Golden years.
Was a dictionary. Like, who cares what words you know when you're 80? I'm going to make up new words when I'm 80. Robert Ludlum. There was a lot of Born Identity, Born Supremacy, Born Orgy, all these Born books that...
I thought Born Orgy was so much better than the book was better than
it was written by his son. Yeah. They ran out of ideas. But I'm looking at it, I'm like, why? It seemed odd to me that Lord of the Rings wasn't there. I don't know why. I saw all the other classics there. There's no Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, okay, all right. Well, Dune.
You know why?
Is Dune here?
You know why Lord of the Rings isn't there, right?
Why?
Because
Why? No, I don't.
No one there is going to start the book and then finish reading it before they die, Mike. It takes 7 years to read The Lord of the Rings.
But
J.R.R. Tolkien spends
yeah.
18 pages describing a tree. Okay? These people there, God love them, and I hope they live.
All right,
I hope they live forever.
I'll
really
give
do.
you that, but they could have had the
like,
Hobbit. They could have had the Hobbit there. That one's a relatively short.
They're like, when the hell is something going to happen? I keep turning the page, and there's.
But we saw.
It keeps talking about a damn tree.
The main library area. It's not there. We go around. There's another little library area. Like, oh, it's going to be in here. No, there's a few questionable books there.
Okay, like what?
I don't want to say.
Why not?
On the podcast, but they were very political books, so we don't go political. But I'm like, okay, we're gonna have that, and you're not gonna have Lord of the Rings, really?
How
you
can
need
you
something
compare that, and that to? I mean, Lord of the Rings isn't the opposite of that.
You need a palate cleanser. You need something other than pure political stuff.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And then there were like books about old warplanes. I mean, come on. What did you go to? Grandpa's R Us? Did you like read a book on what you should put around old people? Not every old man wants to sit and read about warplanes. No, I would. But I'm just saying, in general, not everybody's excited about that.
Did
Some
they
people want to
have
read about
any
hobbits.
David Sedaris books? What about the Late Show book of top 10 lists?
No, nothing cool like that. They had a book on
I want to read where the red fern grows. When I was a kid, I read that book with my daddy.
They had two
old hound dogs.
Here's the
when
thing.
They died,
okay.
the red
You're gonna
fern
keep going.
grew between it.
Okay. They had multiple they had multiple dictionaries.
Get off my yard.
They had one dictionary.
Stop it.
That was like a 20,000 page dictionary. It had its own holder. The thing was massive. It was bigger than that dehumidifier behind you. And then they had other smaller dictionaries, and I thought, well, that's going to cause fights. Because Grandpa,
I want to hold the bigger dictionary.
The only reason you have a dictionary...
Helen, she goes over and she gets the big dictionary.
Right. Anytime you have
to know names of words.
Dictionary in a place like that is for Scrabble. It's because somebody's going to say, that's not a word.
That's cheating.
No, you do it to check to see if a word's a word.
Yeah, I know, but you have to use the official Scrabble dictionary because there are some words in the actual dictionary that still don't apply to Scrabble.
Like spunk.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Just like spunk.
Well, my point is that
who had spunk was Kennedy.
Who the hell's going to want one of the
Kennedy
thin dictionaries
like,
when you got the
missile out of my face, you commie bastard?
Okay, I'm done.
Hey kids, are you looking for a pet ferret that won't bust your budget? Then come on down to Farrell's Ferrets and see our wide selection of new and used ferrets. We have ferrets in all colors, sizes, and sexes. They're fun for the whole family. Right now, buy 4 ferrets and get the 5th one free. Order online and we'll ship them anywhere in the U.S. Don't be give one of these furry ferrets a good home today. Farrell's Ferrets. Ask for us by name or go to farrellsferrets.com.
I'm pretty sure I have a thing called misophonia.
Now that's where you
Misophonia.
So that's when your phonia is missing.
Missing.
Okay.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
I can't find my phonia.
Where's my phonia?
My phonia. I bet that Helen took it. She's always wanting my stuff.
You know, Helen's always starting.
I know. At the assisted living facility, not the nursing home. Misophonia, and I think that's how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Is when you have a reaction to certain sounds.
Okay.
Like gum popping, like tapping, like sniffing or slurping or chewing. Like a lot of people have reactions when people.
I can't stand. I hate. Oh my Lord.
Yeah, I know. I used to work with a guy.
Go down a rabbit hole.
He was in his 40s. Okay, in his 40s, and at our morning meeting, he's eating a bagel. So I'm thinking that we go. I'm like, dude, did your mom never tell you to chew with your mouth shut?
Yeah.
I just wanted to smack him.
You know what my problem is?
Which one?
When I'm faced with a situation like that, a normal human being, who's used to conflict and used to dealing with other human beings would within the first 20 or 30 seconds say, "Excuse me, could you shut your mouth?
Would you stop doing that,
when
please?"
you talk?"
Yeah.
I will internalize all that.
Mm-hmm.
I get more and more pissed internally. I turn them out. I can't even hear what they're saying anymore at any point. And then somewhere 2 or 3 minutes in, I just, Jesus, will you, okay? Stop
it. Just stop.
And I've found that reaction raises a lot of eyebrows.
Some people think you're overdoing it a little bit.
Especially when you do it at church.
Yes.
Or other places where that type of outburst would cause concern.
Mm-hmm.
I found that the easiest thing for me is to remove myself from that situation.
Yeah.
I go take a walk. I go outside. I say, "Excuse me, I need to go out in the thing." And Bess and I actually have a thing worked out where I just give her an I need to go.
I've got to go.
I gotta remove myself from this room for 30 to 40
does
seconds.
she get up and go with
I'll
you?
be back. Sometimes.
Okay.
Sometimes she doesn't. Sometimes she's like, "Okay, go," because she knows I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah.
And then I come back.
Yeah.
I go out there. I go to my safe place. I recite some U2 lyrics or Gojira, depending on what kind of mood I'm in. And then I come back in and I'm okay.
Yeah.
And if the still chewing like that,
yeah. Mm-hmm. I work with someone.
Maybe you put that down. Maybe you put that pie down. Okay, let's do that before you die. Before I put this pencil through your throat.
No, I work with someone who will fill a glass with ice and then water and then swish it around, swish it around, swish it around, swish it around. Drink it.
Yeah.
Just drink it. Put it in your mouth and drink it.
So do these sounds ever translate over and walk with me down this road?
Okay.
Like, so that annoys you that guy does that.
Yes.
Have you ever found yourself, you've been annoyed by that. Have you ever found yourself then watching a James Bond movie where because he likes it shaken, not stirred. And he does that and you start to get pissed off because it reminds you of that guy doing that?
I never thought about that.
I'll give you an example.
Okay.
I, too, get annoyed with people chewing and the sound of them chewing. If you ever paid attention to movies that Brad Pitt is in, he's always eating. He is always every
he talks with his mouth full, doesn't he?
He does. And it's kind of funny. It's kind of like his thing. It's kind of like how Tom Cruise gives that look with his eyebrow or Steven Seagal runs with his arms flapping. It's kind of Brad Pitt. Like, I didn't notice it until I watched a video where someone pointed out Brad Pitt is eating all the time. And once I heard that, I'm like, I rewatched the Oceans 11, 12, and 13, and nearly every scene, he's either eating a sandwich, chewing gum, there's something in his mouth other than his words. Okay. And
I've never noticed that about Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
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 Huh.
Yeah.
No.
And I started to get, I get a little bit of annoyed. I'm like, can you put the hoagie down and act for a little bit?
Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you put the hoagie down?
My son used to tap all the time. Just like,
jeez, this sounds like something attacking the Death Star.
No, it sounds like we're out in the middle. We're out in the middle of the jungle. And then,
run, Darin, run!
Yeah. So, sorry, but no, he would tap like all the time, like nonstop. I'm like, Jacob, please stop tapping.
Yeah,
Jacob, stop, Jacob. And then I'd put my hand on his. Stop tapping.
Yeah.
Stop it. Stop. Yeah. And then Libby's like, well, you used to tap all the time. Used to.
Yeah.
And then I realized I was annoying people with it, and I stopped.
Yeah.
Oh my God! But the tapping and the swishing and the chewing and the popping the gum and So I totally have misophonia. Yeah.
You had a brother, right? Did you have a sister?
Yeah, I have one brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, I was an only child.
Okay.
When I was growing up, I didn't want to draw any attention to myself, so I tried to be as quiet as I can. So anybody who makes any noise annoys me. Mm-hmm. So I think we've talked about before. Andrew comes through the house, and it's like we're in the middle of a home invasion at 2 a.m. Slam, bing, bong. It's like Joe Pesci is running through here, just like,
hey, we're the wet bandits.
Yeah, and it drives me nuts because he is not in a family where people will get upset if he's being loud.
Right.
I hold it in. It's
right.
Like, do you really need to like grab the doorknob with wild abandon, yank the door open and stomp down the hallway, pee with the door open, slam the door, slam, and go back to bed.
Yeah.
That's like 5 minutes of sleep that I missed, and then now I have to get back to sleep. Meanwhile, when I go to do that, Booba jumps from the bed out into the hallway, skids, and then barks at Charlie's door. Then Charlie gets up because Booba's barking at the door, and then Andrew has to go pee again. And then Bess just can't take any of it and decides she's going downstairs to lay on the couch, and then comes back out. It's just like a circus at night in our house.
Yeah.
What happened?
Hey, what happened?
Hey, what happened?
Okay. No, you were talking about the cabinets. My kids did the dishes the other day.
Yeah.
And thank you for doing the dishes, guys, if you ever listen to this podcast. I come into the kitchen, every cabinet door wide open. What? I don't... It's, it's actually easier to close a cabinet than it is to open it. Because it has the gravity working with it. So I called my son down. I'm not going to, call out who did it, but it was Cameron. Cameron, get down here. And I'm standing there in the kitchen, and I'm like, what do you notice about the kitchen? He's like, it's warm in here. No. I mean, it is, but no, that's not what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can you close the cabinets, buddy?
Yeah.
Close the door. Close them.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get the opening up, getting the bowl, and then leaving it open.
See, I think having kids ruins your ability to enjoy horror movies. Walk with me down this lane.
Okay.
So a big scary moment in one of the Paranormal Activities, I think it's 3, is when character walks into a room and all the cabinet doors are open.
Right.
And it's like, oh my God, how could that possibly happen unless there's a demon in the house? I'm looking at them like, I see that every other day, or they hear weird sounds in the middle of the night. It doesn't mean anything anymore. Even your classic horror movies like the Friday the 13th and Halloween and those type of things, they hear a sound.
Right.
There are sounds 24/7 in this house of slamming, running, that. Even if I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard I'd be like, okay, really? What are you guys doing?
Isn't that wild how, was it 35 years later?
Yeah.
You started that and I instantly knew what you were doing.
Yeah. It's like, I don't like a lot of things in horror movies do not scare me anymore because I'm like, that's, okay, the cabinet's open.
Right.
Your kid ran down there, opened up the cabinets.
Yeah.
There's a sound in the middle of the night.
Well, horror movies.
Your dog jumped out of the middle of the bed. So in more superstitious times, in the middle of the night, your dog jumps out of the bed, out into the hallway, turns around and starts barking. If that weren't a horror movie, all you do is put music in at the right point, and it's like, oh, the dog senses something. Like, no, this dog's an idiot. This dog just ate Neosporin.
and the baby Jesus.
In Jesus' house. Okay. There's no telling what it's going to do.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The fact that it jumped out of the bed in the middle of the night and ran around and barked doesn't mean anything other than the fact that this dog's out of its mind.
Yeah.
This is William Shatner, and I would like to invite you to take a journey with me into the 21st century. So take the next few minutes and listen very closely. You'll be amazed at what you hear.
A couple weeks ago, we asked fans of the show if they have any questions, and
nobody asked to.
We had 3 questions.
Glenn,
Glenn Brockman wanted to know if mustard belongs on the holiday table.
Stop.
You got your turkey, you got your dressing, there is mustard in the deviled eggs, which I don't like, but it's like.
So mustard gas kills people.
No, not mustard gas, dumbass. Mustard, like Hellman's.
I get that, but mustard gas kills people. That was used in World War II.
Yeah.
But we eat mustard. Does that come from the same?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But it reminded me of something.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I watched the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving special.
Okay. With Snoopy.
Snoopy was in all.
Plays a cello in a pilgrim's outfit.
No, not a cello.
Okay.
He doesn't play a cello.
I thought he played a cello.
Snoopy, the hell did Snoopy play? He danced on top of the piano when Schroeder played it.
Okay.
Pigpen played the bass in the Christmas special.
But Snoopy did have the pilgrim hat.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had a cork gun. He and Woodstock had their cork rifles. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Peppermint Patty comes over, and Peppermint Patty's a bitch. in this episode. She really is. She invites herself over, and then she brings Marcy, and she brings Franklin, and they come over, and so Charlie Brown does the best he can, and their Thanksgiving dinner was toast, pretzels, jelly beans, and one other thing. Toast, pretzels, jelly beans, and it's like one of the
Doritos.
Okay, sure. Well, I'm a kid, okay? And when I was a kid, I didn't like turkey, okay? And then my mom, God love her, mom's an awesome cook, but she made this potato dressing, which was made with mustard gas. And it's like called Bell seasoning. I hated that worse than anything. Hated cranberries. That's where I got my deep-seated hatred for cranberries. So the entire Thanksgiving dinner was that I did not want to eat.
Okay.
And I said, Mommy, can I have a Thanksgiving like Charlie Brown had?
Yeah.
And Mom was so awesome. She said, sure. So we're at my grandmother's house in Virginia. Everyone's eating their turkey and their deviled eggs and their country ham and their rolls and their baked potatoes or their mashed potatoes, whatever. I have a plate with jelly beans, toast, pretzels, and popcorn.
Okay.
My aunts and uncles about lost their mind. They just about lost their mind. Why is she letting him eat all that?
Oh, she's lost her mind.
Yeah,
she can't do that to that boy.
It's one of the coolest things she ever did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember thinking, Mom's awesome.
Yeah, tell him to go pound sand.
Suck it.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, and I should have told this story a couple of weeks ago for Thanksgiving. I forgot. You know what? Your kid doesn't want Thanksgiving turkey. Let him eat something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, make him a ham sandwich.
Yeah.
You eat the turkey and the gravy and everything else, and let your kid eat something else. It's not the end of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who picked these foods anyway?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how the turkey became the traditional Thanksgiving meal, but it did.
Okay.
Yeah. I like it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened? Hey, we're at the end of this one.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to thank everyone for listening.
Yeah, me too.
If you're a new listener, you probably didn't make it this far, but if you did, congratulations. Go visit our website. We need to have some contests.
IrritableDadSyndrome.com.
There's
if
a link
you love
to go
this
to
show, you can listen to previous episodes.
all the previous episodes. We have bonus content on Patreon. We have follow us on Facebook.
We have cool merch.
Twitter. We update Facebook a lot with content.
Yeah.
But
Twitter, not so much.
Twitter, I update Twitter a lot with announcements and you know, if announcements. So we record the show live on Twitch.
Yes.
All right. So if you want to come and interact as part of the show and be one of the ones of watchers, you can do that.
Yeah.
And then we take it from Twitch, and then we take the video. It's unedited, obviously, and we make that available to patrons at different levels. You know, that you can get the episode early.
Because if listening to this podcast isn't enough, you get to actually watch.
By the way, the merch. So I'm not a big fan of podcasts and things that hawk their merch, like say, hey, come buy our stuff.
Right.
Just take a look though.
Yeah.
Because some of our quotes are out there. Whompers. You can get some Whompers merch if you don't know what Whompers is.
Greatest hot dogs known to man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that logo is
sweet.
Interesting.
It is. Yeah.
And there's a beach towel with it, and that looks.
Seriously,
it looks violent.
Seriously, you go to the merch section on our website, and you can get coffee mugs and stuff as Christmas presents.
Pint glasses.
There's still time to get Irritable Dad Syndrome Christmas presents.
Yeah, and it may get to you before Christmas.
Show your friends and family how much you care by giving the gift of Irritable Dad Syndrome.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we will be back here again
next week.
Hope
to see you then.
Yep.
If this week's audio sounded echoey, it's because my wife kicked me out, and I've been forced to record in my garage. But that's okay. I like it in here. See you next time.